Conference.
It is the SEC under the lights in Death Valley. The number 22 Auburn Tigers are here in Baton Rouge to take on LSU. Both teams 3-1. Both teams trying to find their footing and gain some momentum. And the Golden Band from Tigerland has hyped up this crowd. Been a long time waiting since the glory days of 2019 to have an SEC rival and a capacity crowd under the lights on a Saturday night. Joe Tessitore, Greg McElroy, Katie George with you as we are set for this rivalry game where the home team has won 18 of the last 21 and LSU has won 10 straight at home against Auburn. Auburn won the toss. They elect to receive. Pritchett is back, hoping for a chance to return Avery Aitken's kick. And Atkins drills it for a touchback. There were questions this week, Greg, as to who would be the starting quarterback at Auburn. And it is indeed Bo Nix over the former LSU star TJ Finley. It's been a little bit of a roller coaster career for Nix.
Very much so. They opened it up for a full competition this week, and Bo Nix was the better in practice in the last few days, ultimately leading to the start. But he's been very up and down. He's been inconsistent with his fundamentals and has struggled at times on the road. Last week against Georgia State, never at any point did he look comfortable in the pocket. Moving too early, inaccurate with his throws, trying to get back on track after having made progress really those first 3 games that we saw under the new coaching staff.
Well, we had a penalty on the kickoff. Matt Leffler is heading up this SEC crew. LSU was offside on the kickoff, so we will see if we get a re-kick. But that was the storyline all week, centering on this game. Would it be TJ Finley in his return to LSU? You see him there, 5-game starter a year ago, transferred to Auburn. Or Bo Nix in the foreground, who, as we showed you, was pulled in that second half, trailing Georgia State. And then Finley came in to save the day and rally for the win.
I think a lot of Auburn fans were kind of hoping for TJ Finley because they're living a little bit in the glimpse from last week, and understandably so, but let's acknowledge that this competition has gone on far longer than what we saw last week in the 3rd and 4th quarter of the Georgia State game. So coaching staff clearly feeling like Bo Nix at this point still gives them the best chance, but he's going to have a short leash. If he doesn't set his feet and improve his fundamentals from where he was a week ago, it will be TJ Finley's show, likely yet again.
They're going to tack the 5 yards on, and Auburn will start from the 30-yard line. As you see the numbers on Nix, career record of 18-10, over 5,000 yards. He's a legacy guy. He passed his father, former Auburn star Patrick Nix, on that career yardage leader list. Katie George, what do you have?
Well, guys, Bo Nix told me he was extremely frustrated when he was pulled from the game a week ago, which is preparation.
Nix on 2nd and 6, as we apologize for the audio issues with Katie's microphone. That is incomplete, intended for Kobe Hudson.
I think Bo Nix, a big part of why he's in the game as the starter is because between him and TJ Finley, he's the better runner. He's the more mobile option. And this offensive line in front of him has struggled at times throughout the course of the first few games of the year.
Top 12 team in 3rd down conversions is Auburn, 3rd and 6. Finley looks on as Nix gets the start. Nix with protection, drills it over the middle and is able to get it complete, and he does so to Demetrius Robertson, the transfer from Georgia. 19 yards there.
Just a beautiful throw by Bo Nix, but I want to also look at the pocket. The pocket is perfect around him as Bo Nix is able to set up his feet, picked up the pressure, and drive the ball over the middle, working against man coverage. It's just a nice throw from Bo Nix, and already here, early in this game, fundamentals showing improvement from where he was last week.
Helps to have this guy in the backfield, Tank Bigsby. And Bigsby was chopped down right away as it was McLaughlin coming up to make the tackle.
And of course, the best part of this Auburn team, you can make a case it's the linebackers, but I think it's this running back group. Not just Tank Bigsby, who's one of the best, not just in the SEC, but in college football. But Jarquez Hunter has emerged as a freshman, and then you also have Sean Shivers, who's a versatile weapon as well.
2nd and 9. Bigsby tries to bounce it to the outside, and he is tackled for a loss. That was impressive work from Cordell Flott.
Just an excellent job at the point. As you can see, the LSU defensive line working across face, forcing Bigsby back to the right, and then rallying on the football was Flott. Just a beautiful tackle there in the backfield by the defensive back.
Now a 3rd and 12 for Nix on this Auburn offense. They have been excellent, this LSU defense this year, in TFLs and sacks. This is the kind of down and distance where you can come after an opposing quarterback. Nix trying to extend the play. Now he will tuck and run and is taken down at the 44-yard line. Ali Gay with the tackle, and Auburn will be punting away.
I know this is not the result that Auburn fans wanted, but you have to be pleased by your quarterback there as the pocket collapsed. One thing he's done often, way too often, frankly, the last couple of years, was leave the pocket too early. That time, nothing open downfield, but he gave it a chance. Eventually escaped and created some positive yardage with his legs. Pretty good first drive from Bo Nix, even though it's resulting in a punt.
Oscar Chapman on to punt. Trey Palmer, very capable return man, puts his heels at the 9-yard line as Chapman looks to pin here. Fair catch is called for at about the 9, and that is where Palmer secures it.
Let's take a look at tonight's Bear game plan. As you can see, LSU's offense, they have to be sound in protection. The offensive line has struggled. They get a welcome face back and Cameron Wire back at left tackle, and they got to create some opportunities in the run game. This offense has been way too one-dimensional. For Auburn, allow those great linebackers to play. Unfortunately for Auburn, one of those linebackers unavailable, that's Owen Papo, and then keep the ball in front. Don't give up the big plays of this talented wide receiver core for the LSU Tigers.
Saw Papo over on the sideline, hurt his ankle against Penn State, didn't play last week as well. Max Johnson, 7th start of his young career at quarterback. Pressure up the middle, he gets it out quickly, he does so to Butte. Kayshon Butte, one of the blessed receivers in all of college football, starts the game like that. Absolutely explosive. He goes for 55 yards on the first play for LSU.
Well, they blitz these inside linebackers, which allows for a lot of green grass for Butte to work on the slant. And when you get the ball in his hands, it's a problem. The guy is so explosive out of the break, running through the catch at full speed, and creating a great play from scrimmage for the Tigers.
They wanted to work him into the game plan early on. Can't do it better than that. Goodwin, not much there, just a yard as he was wrapped up.
When you talk about this run game, right there, bottled up, but almost every run in Jake Pete's offense, he's the new offensive coordinator, is tagged with a pass. So right now, a lot of their run game, they're not having success because they're able to throw the ball out of that run game. Still means that the offensive line, they're going to need to face the challenge, but this passing attack has opened up in large part due to teams' commitment to trying to stop LSU's run.
Johnson gets it out quickly on 2nd and 9 and stretching out as Jack Besh. Max Johnson, who has thrown at least 3 touchdown passes in each of his first 6 starts.
Really like this young man. I think he's got a good feel for the position. He's good in the pocket, strong in the pocket. But what I like most, Joe, is that he throws such a catchable ball. His release is so pure, and the ball comes out not with some insane velocity. It's very accurate with the football, but his receivers are able to track it beautifully because of the little loft that he puts on. It just has a real natural feel for throwing the football.
7 yards to Besh, so it's a 3rd and 2. Johnson looks right, gets it out there in space to Thomas. And the freshman with something extra. It's another first down for LSU.
You know, this LSU team has been fired up. Last year, never really having an opportunity to celebrate that national championship here in beautiful Death Valley, one of the most hostile environments. You can tell the urgency that this team has come out, trying to make the crowd a factor, and their offense has done a great job being efficient on this drive so far.
All got going with the 55-yarder to Boutte. And Johnson is going to tuck and run to the edge, and a flag is down as Johnson goes out at the 15-yard line.
And they're going to get a hold here on Bradford.
Holding on the offense, number 75. 10-yard penalty from the previous spot. First down.
He's been the concern for Coach O, the cohesiveness of this offensive line. Bradford had to help out last week at left tackle against Mississippi State.
And Coach O told us that they were excited to get Cameron Wire back, but it looks as though Bradford's back in the lineup.
Yep.
Talented guy, very, very, very big and powerful, but that time his quarterback, as he tried to escape the pocket, Bradford got that left arm, grabbed that jersey. And as a result, LSU's behind the sticks for the first time.
Makes for a 1st and 20. It's been a revolving door at left tackle for LSU. Johnson just going to dump it off to TDP, Ty Davis Price, and he'll get back some of it. Jacoby McClain was able to chase him down.
You see Jacoby McClain, this guy is unbelievably good and active at the second level. This Auburn defensive line is not the defensive line that we've become accustomed to when evaluating Auburn. There isn't a Nick Fairley up front. There's not a Derek Brown up front. It's a solid group, but really the strength of this defense resides at the second level, in large part due to how Jacoby McClain can run sideline to sideline and become that eraser against opposing offenses.
2nd and 11. Johnson is 4 for 4 passing for 78 yards on this opening LSU possession. Play clock is counting down, and with that they're going to have to use a timeout.
Good timeout right there. Looked like Auburn was coming with an all-out pressure, and they didn't have time to iron out the protection. So I think that was a good burn there here, and obviously a critical down and distance.
Next Saturday, it is the Red River Showdown game. Of course, Oklahoma and Texas do their thing at the Cotton Bowl in Dallas. And coverage kicks off at noon Eastern on ABC and the ESPN app. Last season was the 4-overtime thriller. That was a game where Spencer Rattler had a little timeout, and it ended up sparking the rest of his career when Oklahoma beat Texas 53-45. Texas was in a thriller with TCU today, came out with the win.
That was a dangerous spot for the Longhorns. TCU had beat them 6 out of 7, and the look ahead is always there. So it was a good win by the Longhorns. Now they'll set their sights on the Sooners, who have been vulnerable this year.
2nd and 11 after the timeout. Johnson with a quick dart, and Boutte works his way inside the 10-yard line for a 1st and goal LSU.
Yeah, this is just too easy. I mean, off coverage, Boutte's going to run the slant over and over and over again. At some point, Auburn's going to have to make the adjustment in the secondary, get up, press those LSU wide receivers. If you get beat over the top, you get beat over the top. But you can't give freebies knowing what these guys can do with the ball in their hands.
1st and goal. Johnson 5 for 5, 91 yards. Oh, bad snap, mishandled. The ball is going backwards, and he dives on it, and it bobbles it, and then secures it. But from 1st and goal to now the ball all the way back at the 30-yard line.
And that snap was going about 1,000,000 miles an hour from Shanahan. Look at that thing, 1,000,000 miles an hour and to the right. Sometimes when you get close to the goal line, that center's adrenaline ramps up just a little bit, and he'll fire a fastball back at you. That one too difficult to handle there for Max Johnson.
2nd and goal now from the 31. They lost 22 yards on that play. Johnson is going to go to the end zone, and Boutte! How about that? Solves all problems, doesn't he? Keyshawn Boutte, 31-yard touchdown catch.
How about the throw from Max Johnson, dropping it in the bucket. 2 defenders in the area, and because of the perfectly thrown football to the outside shoulder, Boutte finds pay dirt as you see the pylon cam get taken out. Little friendly fire there. What a throw and catch there from the LSU Tigers.
Just spectacular stuff from Boutte. What a start we have here in Death Valley, where LSU just came down the field and turned to one of the best, most dynamic playmakers in all of college football. And Keyshawn Boutte, the star receiver, just delivered with a 31-yard touchdown catch after having a 55-yard opening play for LSU. And because of penalties and a bad snap, he had 3 catches for 99 yards and a touchdown on the opening drive for LSU.
Pretty amazing, and the last one was just ridiculous. A slot fade, Max Johnson, the quarterback for the Tigers, drops it in the bucket perfectly. 2 Auburn defenders in the area, but thrown perfectly to the outside shoulder. Boutte giving his quarterback just a little room and tracking that ball right into the corner of the end zone. Just a thing of beauty from one of the most dynamic playmakers in the entire country on that opening drive for the Tigers.
Bo Nix got the start tonight for Auburn over TJ Finley, as Tank Bigsby will take the carry here for Auburn. Let's visit with Katie George. Good evening, Katie.
Good evening, Tess. Bo Nix told me he was extremely frustrated when he was pulled from the game a week ago, which is expected because he's so competitive, but he didn't let that frustration carry over into his week of preparation. Mike Bobo told him on Sunday, how you respond and how you handle this adversity will define your college career and beyond. And from what I've been told by everyone in the program, Bo has responded really well this week. He was early, stayed late, and focused on that footwork. Now he just needs to let the preparation take over.
2nd and 3, he goes incomplete. So, Greg, last week he's pulled in the second half, trailing Georgia State. TJ Finley comes into the game, who was here at LSU as their starter a year ago. He rallies them to the win.
Yeah, and they opened it up completely. Brian Harsin told us on Wednesday that, man, I don't know who it's going to be because I got to evaluate today's practice, tomorrow's practice. We'll figure it out come game time. They decided that Bo Nix, after what was a competition not just this week but over the last few months, gives him the best chance to win right now, and it's in large part due, I think, to his mobility and the offensive line struggle.
3rd down and 3. Nix is going to tuck, run, and he will move the chains for Auburn. He's got over 5,000 passing yards and what has been a bit of a roller coaster career at Auburn. A legacy guy. His father, Patrick Nix, former star for Auburn, passed him on the career list in passing yards. Son passes dad. Tank Bigsby in the backfield, considered among the most gifted running backs in all of college football. That's Robertson in motion. Nix pulls, and on the run, he gets it right to the sticks to Demetrius Robertson, who is playing for his 3rd college football team, was a 5-star recruit, went to Cal, then 3 years at rival Georgia, 27 games with the Dogs, and now over here with Auburn.
And they need him to step up. Him and Chedrick Jackson out on the perimeter. I know Bo Nix has received an awful lot of blame, as has the offensive line, but these wide receivers have been very disappointing through this part of the season. They made a change with the wide receiver coach, but now's an opportunity for Robertson and Jackson, some of those veteran guys, to step up.
Nix on first down, floats it downfield, incomplete, as Hudson was well covered. You mentioned that Brian Harsin, first-year head coach for Auburn, all the success he had at Boise. He fires the wide receiver coach, Cornelius Williams, to start the week.
And I think it was basically to put everyone on notice, because if you looked at the wide receivers over the last few weeks, drop passes, inconsistent route depths, not being friendly with the quarterback when he's on the move, bad spacing, bad alignment. They just needed a fresh voice in there, and they made the change, and hoping to see the results tonight.
2nd and 10. As this is Tyler Fromm, the backup tight end. Familiar last name. He is the brother of the former Georgia quarterback, Jake Fromm.
Right here for Auburn. Potential 4-down territory, too. You just saw your defense get gashed by that LSU offense. They're starting to find their stride. Here you got one of the best backs in college football, and feed him. Not just once, but twice, if you don't pick it up here on 3rd and short.
Bigsby flanks him to the left. 2 tights in. 3rd and 2. Nix trying to beat out a man, then flips it forward to Fromm. Right at the last second, he said, I don't like my chances. Let me pull something off. Little ad-lib from Bo Nix.
Yeah, that was a nice job by Bo Nix right there. Not a great read at the beginning. As you can see, Olajari was right there. Pretty lucky that none of those offensive linemen found their way 3 yards or more downfield, because you would have potentially had an illegal man downfield. But a heads-up play by the veteran quarterback there, Bo Nix, making something out of nothing.
About the week of practice he had. A little ticked off. You get pulled a week ago, you go out and work hard to get into spots like this and take advantage. Nix. Does he have a little more magic here on first down? Dodged 2 LSU defenders and then just dives ahead. So get the ball to the 33-yard line.
Right there, that was a great job by Bo Nix. I mean, call a shot play, trying to push the ball downfield, think you have a chance at it, but nothing's there. That's why he's, I think, still the starting quarterback, is that he is the more mobile option between him and TJ Finley. TJ Finley's a beautiful thrower, just a gifted arm, a gifted player. But Bo Nix's mobility behind an offensive line that has had their fair share of ups and downs, he can get you out of a jam if the play's not perfect.
2nd and 6, and tackled for a loss was Bigsby. Damone Clark, who last week had a career best 15 tackles against Mississippi State, was the SEC Defensive Player of the Week.
And a good job right there. He's engaged with the tight end, Samuel Shanker. And he makes the play in the backfield. Just a very strong linebacker, good feel for the position, and their vocal leader on that side of the football.
3rd and 7. Four-man rush against Nix. And that ball, was that intercepted? Float broke on it. What a play by Cordell Float. As they are saying, it's incomplete, but he broke on that ball and was able to defense the play.
Oh man, and this is one where you look and you say, Bo Nix, where are you throwing it? But look at where his wide receiver's going. Kobe Hudson's actually coming straight back down the stem. Bo Nix is thinking he's going to come straight back to him. That's one right there where you might think it's the quarterback and his inaccuracy, but we don't know the playbook. Maybe that receiver's coached to come straight back to the quarterback. He didn't that time, and it results in a near interception.
Confusion on special teams. Cordell Float made the big defensive play, but confusion on special teams as they were trying to run an extra lineman out onto the field. Big Brandon Council was waved on, waved off, so we'll take a timeout before the field goal attempt when we come back to Death Valley.
ESPN College Football Primetime is presented by Geico. Save even more when you bundle home and car insurance. And in part by Burger King. Keep it real meals, only at Burger King.
Greg, there's nothing like it. Death Valley, the tailgating. Listen, a bunch of us went out for a run through the tailgates this morning, 8 a.m. I mean, we saw the sausage going at 8 a.m. It's an 8 local kick.
Oh,
They're
yeah.
12 hours early.
No, they're not messing around.
After the timeout, the confusion on special teams, Anders Carlson trying to hit his 6th career field goal over 50 yards. He is one of the best in all of college football. 51-yard attempt here out of the hold of Jackson McFadden. Carlson from 51. Bad contact, sidewinder, goes off to the right. That is rare for him. We will take a break. LSU off to a good start. Johnson 6 of 6 passing. Boutte just phenomenal early. Back to action here. Max Johnson on first down, slides down after a short gain. So Max Johnson, 7th start of his young career. Says this year he's more of a vocal leader, feeling more and more confident. Was he ever confident on their first series? Had that spectacular touchdown to Boutte. It was a strange drive with the penalties and then an errant snap on what was a 1st and goal, so it backed him up to the 31-yard line when he threw that touchdown pass to Boutte. Incomplete this time. It'll be 3rd and 6.
And one thing he's focused on with new offensive coordinator Jake Peets is trying to make sure he has a great and thorough understanding of what defenses can attack him with, pressures, coverages, where his answers are within the offense as well. So he is a work in progress, but man, Jake Peets has to love the upside of this young man. Throws a very catchable football, very accurate with the football, and is extremely difficult to bring down in the pocket.
We're down in 6. Johnson with men right at his feet, and the flag comes down as he tried to settle into that collapsing pocket.
Johnson's pass intended for Dash is incomplete. Flag on the play.
And Leffler heads up this SEC crew.
There was a late flag too that came in.
With the pressure.
You mentioned Jake Peets, Coach O changing up the coordinators this year. Brian Harsin, year 1 at Auburn. Peets worked alongside Joe Brady, who was the stellar play caller for the 2019 championship team here at LSU.
There are 2 fouls against the defense. Personal foul, hands to the face, number 50. Personal foul, targeting, number 29 on the defense. Previous play is under further review.
Now, Derek Hall is who they have tabbed for targeting, and Derek Hall is a big part of their success up front on that defensive line.
Yeah, probably their best edge rusher. As you can see, Brian Harsin's really unhappy with it.
They're going to take a look and review the targeting, and we'll take a quick break. But they tab Derek Hall for targeting at the end of this play, coming down on Max Johnson.
The hands to the face foul will be enforced for the previous 5. First down.
Back here with ESPN College Football Primetime, presented by Geico. Good news for Auburn. Derek Hall will stay in the game. They reviewed it. They said no targeting for Auburn's edge rusher.
I like the decision, too, because you have to have an indicator, all right? And just because the helmets collide, it's not an indicator. It has to be a launch or an upward thrust towards the head or neck area. I didn't feel like there was that. So even though, hey, as a former quarterback, I'm always for protecting the quarterback. But I like the no call there. Still, 15-yard penalty for Auburn because of illegal hands to the face, which gives LSU a fresh set of downs on Auburn's side of the 50.
Max Johnson pulls it in a quick strike to one of the best in the biz, Kayshon Boutte. Katie.
That connection between Johnson and Boutte has been in the works for a long time, guys. Last season when the two were both backups, they'd stay late after practice, just throwing and catching, learning about each other's tendencies and abilities. Boutte says that's why they're having so much success this season on the field. He also says his speed helps too.
You think, wow, is he fast, Katie? First down, going to take a shot, incomplete. He was looking for Smith. Boutte now a touchdown catch in 7 straight games.
And if you look at the numbers, I mean, clearly they have a remarkable chemistry. And what you thought this year, you thought Kayshon Boutte would take off. And even though what he did in the final 2 games of last year was remarkable, man, to see the heights that he's likely to reach by the end of 2021, it's exciting to see his growth.
2nd and 10, just out of the backfield to Kiner. Kiner with a stiff arm gets a few more yards. Good-looking freshman.
Max Johnson's pass is complete to Corey Kiner.
Third down and 4. Josh Williams, former walk-on who earned a scholarship, comes into play running back for LSU. Four-man rush against Johnson, trying to split defensive tackles and then launch himself forward for the line to gain, and he does. Derek Hall was pursuing.
This is one of the parts of his game that is, I think, vastly underrated. He's not going to be a guy that takes the game over with his legs. Not going to happen. But not all that unlike Joe Burrow, he can keep you honest.
Yeah.
I mean, he can get you 4 or 5 in a critical third down like we saw right there. I think he's a better athlete than people suggest. And it's always evident. It's always evident with his movement and mobility in the pocket.
You want to take a look at this spot. Remember, the yellow line unofficial.
Right there.
Helps himself out with the forearm, with the arm, but then that forearm comes down. It's a tough mark of the ball here, isn't it?
It is. I mean, where is the
Right
ball when that
there.
elbow's down? Yeah, just a little bit short. I would say the 22.5-yard line, so about a half-yard short of what appears to be the line to gain.
And talk about that fire, that spirit of a guy like Max Johnson. Everybody talks about the fact that his dad was a Super Bowl champion, right? Brad Johnson had a great career, but the whole family, is competitive. He's got his brother, who's one of the best, if not the best, tight end recruit in the country. And then Mom, Katie. I mean, Mom's the superstar athlete in the family, right?
Yes, and I know we talk a lot about his dad, and rightfully so, but let's give some credit where credit's due, guys. He got his speed and his fire from Nikki Johnson, who was a fierce outside hitter for the South Florida volleyball team in the late 80s. She held a bunch of school records. Her nickname, guys, is Killa. I mean, what else do you need to say? Mom's got it going on, too.
We were talking to Max the other day. Katie was on a call with him, and he said, listen, I don't care what it is. Spike ball, hand jam on the beach. This family gets after it. They compete. They're ruling it a 4th and 1, as we showed on the replay. Bo Nix looks on, looking for his chance. But right now, it has been Max Johnson and this LSU offense in control. 4th and 1. Ty Davis Price is the running back. Saw the contact as Tony Fair came across into the neutral zone.
Offside on the defense, number 90. That penalty results in a first down.
Oh, that's a killer for Auburn, too, because LSU is a team, it's been well documented, they struggle running the football. I mean, really struggle running the football. So anytime you have a short yardage situation against a group on defense that's pretty stout up front, and you give them a free first down, man, that's massive.
Final seconds ticking down in this first quarter. They got a full house with an SEC rival again. Been a long time to have nights like this in this grand palace of Southern football. Tiger Stadium, Death Valley. Johnson and Boutte got them on the board. Touchdown lead for LSU. Taco Bell welcomes you to the Litmas Student Section of the Year contest. Use the hashtag Student Section Sauce to get the committee's attention. Go to ESPN.com/Taco Bell and see how your school can compete. And this is a great student section here at Tiger Stadium, where you got to learn how to say Tiger Bait really nice and loud. And that's what they've been doing to Auburn. First down to start this second quarter. Max Johnson has hit 5 different receivers. Johnson, pressure right in his face, and he is taken down, and taken down hard that time. That was Hall and Wooden.
I mean, right here, you look at Auburn along the front. I mean, they're just begging you to run the football. I mean, just begging you. You got nobody on the left side of the offensive line. Ed Ingram could have gone to the safety, and yet LSU still not confident handing it off. Just goes to show you how one-dimensional this offense has been throughout the first month of the season.
Second and 17. Johnson back across the grain, and that was almost intercepted. Zion Puckett had a chance at it. Johnson, his wife Nikki look on as their 6'5" lefty son faces a 3rd and 17 on the 9th play of this drive. Auburn shows A-gap pressure. 3-man down, they back off. 4 come after him, they drop 7. Johnson's going to tuck and run on 3rd and 17 and get out at the 15-yard line. It'll be 4th down from there. Smoke Monday chased him down.
And a good decision there from Johnson. Nothing there. Don't try to force it. You just made your field goal kicker about 10 yards better. But good, smart decision from the quarterback, not trying to do too much.
Cade York has made 12 straight field goals. Hasn't attempted one the last 2 weeks. This from 33. Make it 13 straight for Cade York, and that gives LSU a 10-zip lead under the lights at Tiger Stadium. And Matt, you get plays like that, and that's how you pull upsets, because you look at the box score and you see Will Levis, the starting quarterback for Kentucky. He had 7 completions for 87 yards, right? Now, Rodriguez went for 99 yards, but it's just one of those nights. A play like that happens, and it can determine things. Pritchett from a few yards into his own end zone, upended at the 18-yard line. Hey, Brian Harsin, coaching up Bo Nix this week, pulled a clip.
you see right now, looks like TJ Finley's about to enter the game.
So here's the changeup. We were going to have a conversation about how he was trying to help out Bo Nix and pulling a Dak Prescott clip, but instead, here's the news, folks. TJ Finley, his return to LSU. 5-game starter last year. Transfers to Auburn, was the hero a week ago. And now he's back in Baton Rouge, and his running back tackled for a loss, Jarquez Hunter, maybe a face mask as he was ripped down, but he's been a sensational looking freshman. So TJ Finley returns, and last week he came in against Georgia State when they were trailing. A year ago he was playing for LSU. He started at Auburn. Auburn won that game 48-11. Things didn't work out here. He was looking at the landscape. He says, let me get a fresh start. Well, last week he replaces Bo Nix. He comes in, engineers a 98-yard drive with a wild 4th down touchdown to Jackson with 45 seconds left. And now he's back in there. First down, a little bit of pressure, but he gets it complete to Shanker. John Samuel Shanker gives a little something at the end. So TJ Finley trying to spark this Auburn offense, and there was pushing and shoving, and we got flags down at the end of that big play, 35 yards to Shanker. Bo Nix got the start. Finley comes in here in the second quarter.
After the play was over, personal foul, unnecessary roughness, number 68 on the offense. 15-yard penalty. It'll be first down and 10.
That's Troxell, the left tackle.
This is just a beautiful design, just full boot action, and they're going to run John Samuel Shanker on the throwback. It's a really good job, too, by Finley stepping up in the face of pressure and hitting Shanker in a perfect spot. As you see, big number 68, Austin Troxell, the left tackle, coming in, getting a late hit. It's a good call from the official.
TJ Finley on first down gives to Hunter. Hunter's an interesting story. Wasn't the biggest recruit. Was a powerlifting champion. He's come in like a 3-star guy, and they have fallen in love with his ability in the backfield.
Yeah, very gifted runner, just a great football player.
2nd and 6. Finley. Incomplete, was dealing with pressure.
You see Bo Nix being a good teammate on the sideline, cheering on his guy, and I don't think this move is based on anything Bo Nix has done up to this point. I think this was a premeditated move from Brian Harsin, because if you look at Bo Nix's feet, they've been set, they've been patient, he's been pretty accurate with the football, so it appears as though they had a plan all along to go with TJ Finley on the 3rd series, and here he is knocking on the door of field goal range.
All 3 Auburn drives have gone into LSU territory. Still looking for points. Third and 6. Finley going to try to escape, and then he shovels it ahead like we saw earlier to Fromm, but this time it's incomplete. So Nix did that earlier tonight. Now Finley tries to do it, but instead it's going to be 4th down. Offense stays on the field here in that no man's land. Ball on the 42-yard line as Brian Harsin looks on.
Definitely trying to go with a hard count. See if I can't get 5 free ones. I can't get one of those LSU Tigers to jump in the neutral zone, give me a free play.
4th and 6. Finley in his return, incomplete. Turnover on downs. Ali Gay with the pressure on his former teammate, TJ Finley.
And it's just a great pass rush right around the edge. by Ollie Gay. So long, so versatile. And that time, Rodarius Ham was unable to run the loop with the edge rusher. Applying too much pressure, forcing the ball out of TJ Finley's hands a little bit faster than he wanted to. And another Auburn drive into LSU territory. The result is the same as the first few, 0 points.
Max Johnson and LSU, they take over at the 42. Johnson with 143 yards passing in this first half. LSU negative 10 yards rushing. And a timeout is going to be used here.
Second charge timeout, LSU.
Defense did their job. Offense back out on the field after the timeout when we come back to Death Valley.
College Football Primetime, presented by Geico, is brought to you by AT&T 5G. Fast, reliable, and secure.
Laura Hinton's going into the LSU Hall of Fame next month. In '71, he was the first African-American football player in LSU history. And that decision to attend LSU back then as an 18-year-old, that paved the way for thousands of student athletes to have the opportunities to play for LSU. Joe, Greg, and Katie here at Tiger Stadium. 10-0, LSU on top. They got off to such a good start with their star player, Keishon Butte, had a 55-yard reception on the first play, added a 31-yard touchdown catch after that. Max Johnson, as he gets it complete to Jenkins, and Jenkins darts ahead past midfield for a chain mover of 12 yards.
And at some point, Auburn's going to have to come up and start challenging these wide receivers at the line of scrimmage. There's been a lot of cushion right now that have been afforded these wideouts, and they've taken advantage of it underneath.
Johnson has hit 7 different receivers already tonight. Johnson looks to his left and then is taken down by Derek Hall. Big play by Hall. Second sack of the night for Auburn.
Yeah, and Hall does a really good job. He engages with the center, Shanahan, and then as soon as Johnson kind of gets caught in no man land, stepping into the rush, and Hall drags him down. It's a big play there from Auburn's defense.
LSU backed up to a 2nd and 18. Goodwin looking for anything. It has been a struggle to run the ball all season long for LSU. Matt, what do you got? Of course, Penn State and Auburn played that thriller back in the whiteout atmosphere back on September 18th. Came down to the end. Final minute, Auburn got to the Penn State 23-yard line. Bo Nix was looking for Robertson. They came up short on that night. 3rd and 15. Johnson drives it. Pinpoint accuracy. And Jack Bech turns on the heat. The freshman downfield with a big chunk play for LSU, 41 yards.
Yeah, just a great job of executing the mesh right here. You're going to see on the left side Smith. He's the pick man. Well, Bech comes free. And that was a great read there from Johnson. As you see those guys cross face, whoever wins as they cross face, that's where you got to go with the football. Hits him in stride, and Bech turns it into a big play.
He's been a unique weapon so far this season. Johnson. First down to the end zone, incomplete. He was looking for Deion Smith, another very good-looking freshman. McCreary had coverage. He is their best cover guy in that defensive backfield.
Zion Puckett there, getting up a little gingerly. As you see Max Johnson trying to slide that glance in between 2 defenders. Very, very close. Yeah, hopefully Puckett's okay. He's one of their better safeties, especially when he gets up and involved in the run game.
Very smart player. Derek Mason told us that just the other day. We hope the best for him as the medical team is out to check Zion Puckett. And with that, we will take a break as LSU is threatening again. In the SEC on ESPN as Mike Seven watches all Tiger Stadium here in Baton Rouge, Death Valley. And Max Johnson in the LSU offense in the midst of a 5-play, 46-yard drive. Pass was just incomplete, intended for Deion Smith. Deion Puckett was tended to by the medical staff of Auburn. Final within safety, and it's a 2nd and 10.
Look at Auburn's structure here. Right now, it looks like they're going to have 3 safeties. This part of the field, old school LSU, you just run it right into the end zone. But this version of LSU is not the one that we grew up with, folks. As you can see, Auburn totally defending the pass, not even concerned about the run whatsoever.
Johnson, TDP is going to run it this time. They have struggled to run it both tonight and this season. That has been a point of concern. Goes for 6 yards there. Will be 35.
You have to, though. I mean, in that look, you just have to run the football. I mean, either that or you're throwing into an 8-man drop all night long. And that's really tough on this part of the field where the windows are condensed for the quarterback.
Johnson gives a look over to the left. That's where he's got Smith. 3rd down and 4. Johnson right to the line to make to Boutte. We'll see where they mark his forward progress. Maybe just a yard short. Keyshawn Boutte tracked down by Knighton. What an impact player he has been. 5 targets, 5 catches, 116 yards in the first half, and that spectacular into the bucket touchdown. 4th down and 1. Offense stays on the field. 2 tights to the right. Ty Davis Price, the running back. Taylor and Mashburn doubled up on the right side. 4th and 1. And a timeout is going to be used as Coach O will talk it over.
Tigers take a timeout.
So Max Johnson in this offense already up 10-zip. You know, the storyline all week long was what's going on with the Auburn quarterbacks. Little do we know it'd be Max Johnson, LSU quarterback, stealing the show early on.
He's played really well, and he's just taken what the defense has given him. And he's honestly given his receivers a chance to make plays and then run with the football. I mean, the catch and runs for this LSU team have been outstanding. Auburn's got to make some adjustments defensively because right now they're giving up way too many throws underneath. And an accurate quarterback that's in control like Johnson, he's going to pick you apart all the way down the field.
Yeah, and he's got the best player on the field tonight in Boutte, and he showed that right from the start. There he is, Keyshawn Boutte, who had the catch moments ago. That sets up a 4th and 1 for Coach O and LSU. I formation with Mashburn in front of Davis Price. And there was movement.
False start. Offense, number 69. 5-yard penalty, 4th down.
And Charles Turner brought in there, extra offensive lineman, put him out at tight end. And he just, for whatever reason, flinched as they were going under center.
And with that, the field goal unit will come on with the ultra reliable Cade York. Made from 33 earlier. That is 13 straight now. And the snapper, Atkins the holder. They love this operation. And York will add to it. Penalty pushes him back. York puts it through. 13-zip. LSU on a beautiful night here in Baton Rouge. AT&T 5G Skycam with you tonight from Tiger Stadium. Look at this crowd. This is what it's supposed to be, right? Capacity crowd, under the lights, SEC prime time. They've waited a long time, 25% capacity a year ago with the COVID restrictions, and now they're back with an SEC rival. And at home, LSU has gotten the best of Auburn going back to '99. 10 straight home wins LSU has over Auburn. Tiger v. Tiger. LSU up 13-0.
It's looking like it's going to be Bo Nix again, and I think that move to put TJ Finley in was premeditated. Let's go back to last week. This is what got him benched. The footwork has been a mess. Last week it was especially bad. Steps in the bucket, throws off balance, ball sails high in the back of the end zone. So what did Brian Harsin do? He said, man, I want you to watch Dak Prescott. Watch how he keeps both feet on the ground as he delivers the football. Throws a strike to CeeDee Lamb on Monday Night Football just the other night. And how about Bo Nix? Look at the improvement. I mean, feet are planted, both feet on the ground. Throws a strike over the middle for the conversion. I don't think he was benched because of play tonight. I think it was premeditated to put TJ Finley in third series.
Nix sprint right and gets it accurately to Robertson for the completion. I just love to see the growth in 1 week where you can show a clip from earlier tonight and see him having success with the fundamentals.
Absolutely, and it's a competition still tonight. This just further proves this thing is so up in the air. Both TJ Finley and Bo Nix are going to get opportunities to win this team. It's whoever makes the best decisions is most accurate with the football. 2nd and 3, quick strike to the outside, and Jackson will have the first down. So Nix back in the game, and he hits on his first 2. So far, they've been able to move the football until they cross the 50. That's when LSU's started to make some plays. Crowding that box, play action off of it. And he couldn't hold on. Shanker turned the corner before he had the ball. Ball was just slightly low. Would have liked a slightly more accurate ball there from Bo Nix. Make it a little easier. Shanker. At some point, this Auburn offense is going to have to try to establish the line of scrimmage. Right now, Bo Nix is their leading rusher, and Tank Bigsby has only 2 yards. 2nd and 10. Nix with time, gets it complete, has a first down, and Shanker secures it this time. He wrapped those big paws around and said, I'm not doing that again. That was a good job. Just a nice, easy design. Bo Nix under control, throws a strike to Shanker, who's emerged as a capable weapon in the passing game. I think a lot of people wondered what this offense would look like with Mike Bobo and Brian Harsin calling the plays, and tight end's been a huge part of their offense over the years for both Bobo and for Harsin. They didn't really have one on the roster. Here's Hunter. Hunter almost got free. He had a 94-yard touchdown run earlier this year. It was the longest rushing play in Auburn history. He's got that burst, the freshman running back. Yeah, he does. He's a great football player. And anytime you're taking carries away from Tank Bigsby, you know you must be something special. They have a nice 1-2 punch there in the backfield on the Plains. 2nd and 3, Robertson in motion. Nix, and well-designed play to get it to Robertson. A little misdirection with Hunter, and then Nix sprints to the left and makes the quick strike. First down. Right now, I like what Mike Bobo's doing offensively. Him and Brian Harsin are utilizing a lot of misdirection. Guys running in one direction, going back the other, whether it's nakeds or boots or jet sweeps. That gets that aggressive LSU defense running sideline to sideline, and they're taking advantage of that aggressiveness right now. Mike Bobo is Nix's 3rd offensive coordinator in the last 3 years, as Nix slides down to the 25-yard line. So, Greg, we keep bringing it up. Here it is, 4th Auburn drive into LSU territory, and they got that goose egg up on the scoreboard. This is the part of the field that plagued them against Penn State. It's plagued them throughout the course of the season. They have to finish these drives. When you get within striking distance, field goals are not going to beat some of the best teams in the country. You've got to execute at an even higher level when you enter the red zone. Now at the 26-yard line, deepest that they've been tonight. And that's incomplete. Hudson should have held on to it.
Third down. Auburn.
Third and 4. Shivers out of the backfield. He's going to be a couple yards short. He was brought down by Jay Ward.
Decision time here for Brian Harsin. He didn't waste a moment, leaving his offense on the field.
Fourth down and 2. Bo Nix comes back into the game. Brought them down in this 9-play drive, but they want more than 3. Nix trying to make magic. Still on his feet and then chucks it to the end zone for a touchdown to Tyler Fromm. Somehow, some way, it was the right way for Bo Nix. Wow. What a week it's been when after you're pulled a week ago and then you got to fight for your chance, you can put your arm around your head coach after a play like that. Carlson adds the extra point and much needed 7 on the board for Auburn.
How about this from Bo Nix, rolling to his right, trying to get one quickly into the flat, but he keeps it alive. Makes a couple guys miss, buys time, allows his wide receivers to uncover, and throws a strike for the touchdown. What an unbelievable play from Bo Nix. Those are the type of plays he's capable of making. He's athletic. He's so gifted. Improvisational skills are off the charts, as long as he keeps his fundamentals. And that time, what an unbelievable play by the quarterback.
Well, Greg, to your point, as he was scrambling, the defensive guys over here on Auburn sideline were losing their minds. Multiple guys turned to each other and said, that's what Bo Nix does. He has the ability to turn nothing into something.
That was amazing. I mean, that was Johnny Manziel.
It was.
I mean, you don't see plays like that very often. It was good pursuit, perfectly played defensively from LSU, but when a quarterback's buying that much time, you just can't stay covered.
But for him to hit the brakes when he runs sideline to sideline, say, I got to give myself one more second. And that one more second became the 24-yard strike to Tyler Fromm. This is Palmer out of the end zone, and hello! He was taken down hard that time by Joko Willis. Whew.
I'm talking.
How much do you like ball on a Saturday night?
Oh, I love ball.
Energy, folks. Joko Willis. And isn't it funny how Bo Nix can make one play on one end and then special teams is on fire on the other end. Johnson on the slant, and he responds with a strike to Brian Thomas, who's really starting to come on the last couple games. 6'5" freshman. They got some talent now in this young crop of receivers behind Butte.
They got some youth, but they're not going to be young for much longer. These guys are growing up quickly, and there's going to be some real players in that wide receiver room.
Johnson wants to take a strike downfield, and he's looking in the same direction, and that is to Thomas, and it's incomplete. Pritchett had coverage on Brian Thomas.
really great coverage there from Pritchett. Look at how he gets his eye. Ooh, little contact there. Could have potentially been the flag, but it looked like Pritchett turned inside just a little bit before going and really playing the receiver. A little surprised that one didn't result in a pass interference.
Pritchett had an interception early against this LSU team a year ago. Sparked him, set up the first touchdown in Auburn's win. To the outside, this is Neighbors, and Neighbors gets free! Malik Neighbors, who was hurt in August camp, was out a couple of weeks, and now he's starting to see some attention.
And this was nice right here, getting the ball out of the hands quickly, and Neighbors turning on the Jets up the sideline.
I think he has a very bright future here at Tiger Stadium. 5 yards, Johnson to Neighbors, just like that. Here comes LSU. Timeout's going to be used by Auburn, and that gives us the chance to check in with Matt Berry in the studio. What's up, Matt?
Tiger fans, please turn your attention to the video board for today's Planet Fitness Strong Play of the Game. LSU fans for Planet Fitness membership.
Can't wait to hear what you guys have to say. Yeah, listen, Cincinnati had circled that date against Notre Dame, so they get the win against a top 10 Notre Dame team. And now they're in prime position. Alabama and Georgia, I'll just say this. There is a gap between those two teams and everybody else that's much bigger than what we've seen in recent college football to the eye.
No, there's no question. I mean, those two teams are juggernauts. I mean, what Alabama and Georgia did today against good competition is pretty remarkable. Now, I think Iowa's very, very good, but we're going to find out a lot more about them next week against Penn State.
Off the timeout, just under 4 minutes to play in this first half, and then we will hear from Matt, Joey, and Jesse. That's Johnson, quick to the outside. Good coverage again by Pritchett as he was locked in with Malik Neighbors.
So far, LSU has really been working mostly in-breaking routes, slants, and things that break towards the middle of the field. That time, opting to go with an out route. The LSU receiver was undercut. It was pretty fortunate that that ball, if thrown accurately, might have been intercepted.
Second and 10, A-gap pressure picked up by Kiner, the freshman running back. Johnson, no, darts to the outside. It'll be third down from there. As he gets to the 41-yard line. That was a 5-yard run. That's Johnson, 13 of 19, 235 yards. The one spectacular touchdown to open our evening to Keyshawn Boutte. 3rd and 5. Somebody went down there hard. It was Boutte, and there's the flag. As there was contact with Simpson. Jalen Simpson had coverage on Boutte, the superstar receiver for LSU.
We're talking about those in-breaking routes as Boutte tries to run a slant. And you see just the extension by Simpson.
There is no foul for pass interference because the ball was tipped. It's 4th down.
When the ball is tipped, anything goes. So Simpson's contact on Boutte is not PI.
It's a good job by the officials.
Excellent job by the officials.
Let's see who gets a hand on it.
Yeah, I think it was the inside rush of Colby Wooden.
Great
so
play
the
by
first
him.
punt of the night for LSU. As Atkins comes on to try to pin it. Nose down, back rotation, looking for an inside the 10 here. Fair catch is at the 5-yard line. Tomorrow, the NFL Countdown crew will be live at Gillette for Brady's return to Foxborough. We'll have the exclusive interview with Tom Brady before he goes up against Belichick and the Patriots. That's at 10 Eastern on ESPN. .319 to work with here for Auburn. Bo Nix made magic moments ago with an outrageous, nearly sideline to sideline run and then pass to the end zone. That was a touchdown to Fromm. And now from his own 1 yard line, as that is incomplete, looking for Shanker, the tight end.
So far, it's pretty obvious what Auburn's trying to prioritize in the passing game. They want to get John Samuel Shanker involved, regardless of who the quarterback is, man. He's gotten an awful lot of looks tonight. It hasn't necessarily paid off for him. Only a couple catches, but it's been targeted 6 times.
Nix from his own end zone. And going down and getting it was Hudson. Is saying, it's on the ground, incomplete. So it'll be 3rd and 10.
Be curious to see what Durante Jones does here. I've been in this end of the field with the student section behind me. This is no picnic for communication. It's going to get loud for Bo Nix. A lot of nonverbal communication with your back in the loudest part of the stadium.
Listen to this. 3rd and 10. Heels nearly on your own goal line. From his own end zone, gets protection out of the backfield. Shivers makes a man miss and gets more out to the 24 and an Auburn first down.
Great job by Nix. Nothing there. Deep, soft cover 2 from LSU's defense. Flott gets juked out of his shoes. And Shivers, great conversion there on the run after catch.
Nix trying to find a rhythm, and he does, out to the 30-yard line as Shanker his target again, and John Samuel Shanker with the reception. 6th time that he's targeted him tonight. 3rd catch for Shanker.
One thing I've been fairly impressed with so far here in the first half of this football game is this Auburn offensive line that has struggled like crazy. They brought their game tonight. This is a pretty good pass rush they're facing, and for the most part, the Auburn quarterbacks have had decent pockets over and over again.
2nd and 2. Another completion to Shanker. And listen, Finley comes into the game. Nix goes back in. It's the best version of him we've seen.
Sometimes all you need is just a little bit of a wake-up call. Man, he all night tonight he's looked pretty poised, looked under control. He's gotten to the secondary receivers in the progression. It's been a nice start for him so far.
First down, time again. Quick out, just short of midfield as he gets it to Demetrius Robertson.
So far, though, I mean, he looks nothing like the guy that took the field against Georgia State last week. I mean, his feet are calm. He looks poised. He's shown composure. Even when he wasn't in the game, he was cheering on his teammates. You saw him audibly cheering on TJ Finley and his guys. Just a completely different Bo Nix that we're seeing tonight on the road in a hostile environment.
Last week, pulled against Georgia State, trailing in the 2nd half. Finley had to come in and rally them for the win. Now he's trying to rally his team before halftime here on the road at LSU. Nix, Shivers again out of the backfield, lowers the pads against Clark. Clock counting down towards a minute and a half here in this first half. Auburn has 1 timeout remaining. Third down and 3. Pressure off the edge, they pick it up, and on the slant, it's incomplete as he was trying to get it to Johnson. Flott had coverage, his helmet came off, pulled Dash out of the game.
How about the pass breakup from Flott? I mean, Hud looked like there was going to be some room there for Johnson, but Flott does a good job getting that long left arm in front of it. Is Auburn thinking about? I'm surprised by this decision too. This part of the field, I mean, for the most part, this is extremely risky for Brian Harsin.
4th down and 2 from the 48-yard line. Rolling the dice here at Tiger Stadium. Nix, is he going to do it again? Swirling, scrambling, searching, and finding. He goes to Robertson. Oh, there's magic in Bo Nix on these 4th downs tonight, isn't there, Greg?
Unbelievable job yet again. Keeping the play alive, nothing there originally. Retreating all the way back as far as his 30-yard line. And finding an uncovered wide receiver.
Clock counts down 40 seconds in the half. Nix. He's got razzle-dazzle written all over him, folks. Look at Bo Nix. He's just having fun here. Weaving his way through that LSU defense. 6 yards for Nix. The officials take a timeout as an LSU player was slow to get up.
I mean, this is unbelievable. I mean, where's this guy been, man? I mean, steady in the pocket. He gives it a chance. He doesn't leave the pocket too early. Sometimes you got to go, but not there. He gave it a chance, rolled around, bought time, and how about the job by Robertson uncovering? This time leaves it a little bit earlier, makes a guy miss, and man, you're a weapon with your legs. Go make it happen.
Auburn did call a timeout with a half minute to go before halftime. We will get Matt, Joey, and Jesse to get us up to speed on everything going on in the sport.
This part, if I'm Brian Harsin and Mike Bobo, I'm telling Bo Nix, hey man, I love the creativity you're showing tonight. I love it, but don't take any unnecessary risks because right now we're in field goal range. So if you want to extend plays, great. Not here though. If you're going to run north and south, because any negative plays could potentially take points off the board.
I've got one of the best kickers in all the game, and Anders Carlson. They've exhausted their timeouts. They got 30 seconds to work with. 2nd and 4. Nix against a 4-man rush. And he's going to throw it away. It'll be 3rd down with 24 ticks of the clock.
You have to wonder if that was a conversation they had in the timeout. Hey man, if nothing's there, throw it as far as you can towards Mike the Tiger. Don't take any unnecessary risks because at this point, you're in field goal range or knocking on the door. No need to do anything too crazy. No need to be your hero. Even if this results in an incompletion, you likely are going to make it potentially a 3-point game going into half.
3rd down and 4. Nix to the outside, overthrows Shivers. So they will trot on the field goal unit. Anders Carlson will come on to try to make this a 3-point game. A talented senior from Colorado Springs who missed from 51 earlier. This a 49-yard attempt for Anders Carlson. Much better contact and rotation this time as he puts it through. So well managed and sprinkling in a little bit of magic from Bo Nix, and we've got ourselves a 3-point game, and that was exactly the kind of second quarter response that Auburn had to have.
Yeah, it was really nicely done by Bo Nix and the entire offense.
Week 4 Monday Night Football is in LA as Derek Carr and the Raiders take on the Chargers, 8 p.m. Eastern on ESPN. Monday Night Countdown will get things started at 6 p.m. We're moments away from halftime here. All the action in what was another defining day in college football. Beyond Alabama and Georgia, they made huge statements, but Cincinnati has themselves very much in the mix now. Greg, I'm really curious to see, as the conversation goes on, if everything holds form, where you see things taking shape and how it plays out for Cincinnati.
This is definitely the best chance we've seen in the 8-year history of the college football playoff. I think this is definitely the best chance we've seen for a group of 5 team to make it.
Kentucky with an impressive win against Florida. Penn State is in total control against Indiana tonight. And Texas A&M now with 2 losses, Greg, as Mississippi State was able to win at A&M. And that's a Mississippi State team that LSU jumped out in front of a week ago and then held on to win. Mississippi State had a late rally and then a failed onside kick at the end.
Max Johnson.
13-10 LSU. Bo Nix with 2 dramatic 4th down plays that everybody will remember. LSU's going to receive the second half kick for what it's worth. Boutte in this first half had 5 catches for 117 yards and that touchdown that got them on the board in the first quarter. But the play of the first half was Bo Nix on 4th down, scrambling right to left, stopping, creating some time, and then finding Fromm in the end zone for the 24-yard touchdown when Auburn was down 13-zip. And now just a 3-point game. Let's go to Katie down on the field.
Thanks, Tess. Coach, Bo's been phenomenal on 4th downs. How would you say he's responded so far?
Well, he's doing a great job making a play. We need to execute where we don't have to do that. He's doing things on his own, but that's been really good for us. We've got some 4th downs, which has helped us. We're going to stay aggressive and then, just do a better job on early downs, staying ahead of the chains. I think he's playing well. We got to run the ball. Got to find a way to play good defense in the red zone and just continue to come out in the second half and be better than we were in the first.
Thank you for the time.
Thank you.
Well, they were better in the second quarter than they were in the first quarter. 13-10 game here at Tiger Stadium. Let's head to the studio for our halftime report. Football Prime Time presented by Geico. We got a 13-10 LSU lead here at the half because Bo Nix rallied his Auburn team in that second quarter. They were down 13-zip. A couple spectacular 4th downs converted, 1 for a touchdown. See Max Johnson there. It was 235 yards and a touchdown. First half stats brought to you by Sportsplus.
And you see the rushing yards for LSU just continues to be the theme, just completely one-dimensional. And Auburn,
onside kick to start the second half as it goes out of bounds. So a little trickery from Brian Harsin saying, you know what, we had some momentum there in the second half, but remember they elected to receive to start the game. What do you make of that call right there?
I kind of like it, man. Foot on the gas. They actually had a chance. I mean, it looked like the end man for LSU was retreating and just the Auburn guy couldn't get there.
So LSU will take over as Coach Harsin, his first season at Auburn. 9 seasons as a head coach, all the success at Boise. Had a year at Arkansas State. LSU under Coach O, 41-1 when leading at the half. Got to go back to 2016, game against Florida, the one blemish.
It's still just mind-blowing to me to think LSU, all those amazing years running the football with incredible running backs. They now have a lead in the second half against the Auburn Tigers having rushed for negative yards. That is mind-blowing to me, but that's who this team is. Very capable passing attack, but got to find some opportunities on the ground when Auburn gives you very favorable looks to run the football.
Here they go with the short pitch to Davis Price, and he gets something there, about 7 hard-earned yards. But listen, they said it to us the other day. We couldn't have had a more transparent conversation with Jake Peets, the new offensive coordinator, and Coach O, of saying we don't have confidence in the running game, and we've had this revolving door at left tackle and lack of cohesion with the offensive line. So we're going to go to Boutte right away. They did, and it worked. And here they go to Besh, and Besh on 2nd and 2 will have 5 yards and a first down.
And that play right there, that's basically an extended handoff.
It is.
Man, just a little misdirection. Fake it to the right, get Besh out to the left as you see Jake Peets, the first-year offensive coordinator, has a long history of having worked with some of the best offensive minds in football, notably for LSU fans, Joe Brady.
Johnson on first down. As that was nearly intercepted, but is batted away by Simpson. Katie.
Well, guys, I spoke with Coach O during halftime, and he said first and foremost he wants to see his defense contain Bo Nix. He wants to see a more controlled rush on the edge and keep him in the pocket. Offensively, he said they're just playing inefficiently. A couple of penalties in the red zone. He also said they're taking way too long to play calls. So he wants to see his team play more disciplined here in this second half.
Yeah.
Keeping Bo Nix in that pocket, that would be highly advisable after what we saw in the second quarter. 2nd and 10. TDP again, and just barely trying to get back to the line of scrimmage as Wooden made the tackle.
Really, with this Auburn defensive line, they're solid against the run now. They're pretty stout, do a pretty good job playing together, especially with those linebackers at the second level. Even though Pat Bowe's out tonight, Kobe McLean's as good as anybody there. They're not great in a pass rush situation, so that's probably part of the reason why LSU has really emphasized the pass here early in this game and here into the third quarter.
3rd down and 10 off the failed onside kick to start the second half. Johnson with time, and right at that line to gain is Boutte. Came in leading all of college football with 8 touchdown catches, got his 9th tonight, and just moved the chains again right there.
And just a great throw here from Johnson. They get internal pressure, you work away from it, throw out over the underneath dropper in Chandler Wooten, and find Boutte against soft coverage on the out route. A good job too by Boutte, knowing the line to gain, getting enough depth on the out route. Sometimes those guys get sped up and they'll be a little short, so a good job getting your depth for the wide receiver.
And 6 catches for 127 yards already. Johnson, the lefty, and that bounces harmlessly to the ground after hitting Jack Besh in the shoulder pads.
And he had Besh. I mean, Besh was wide open in the middle of the field. I don't know what took him so long to get there. Of course, little presence up front, but man, if he gets that ball out on time to Besh, if that's where he would have started his progression, he got a gain of 6, 7, maybe 8 or more. There was nobody home for Besh over the middle.
Besh has been a real nice surprise. Freshman, utilized in different ways. Play clock counting down. Get it off. 4-man rush for Johnson. Comes to the near side. And he gets it complete to Jeray Jenkins. 8 yards there. Johnson to Jenkins.
Keep an eye here, this part of the field. If you get a one-on-one, you take it to Boutte. He's down here at the bottom of the screen. Keep an eye on number 80. Jack Besh has kind of developed into a very reliable pass catcher. He's right here in the bunch formation. They might be able to find him because of some of the traffic that bunch might create.
3rd and 2. Johnson going to tuck and run, and Johnson will have the first down. He takes a big hit out of bounds right at the end of the play. That was Romello Height who hit Max Johnson.
On the defense, half the distance, automatic first down.
Just can't do that. Romello Height trying to find a guy up front that can create some rush. He's one of their quicker twitch guys there on the edge. That time, man, hustling. Just lost track of where he was on the field. Cannot do that.
Now with that, it is a 1st and goal with the ball at the Auburn 5-yard line.
Right here, it'd be really nice if you're an LSU Tiger to be able to run the football. You only have 15 yards of depth to the back of the end zone. The field is so condensed. Really tough to throw it down here.
They rushed for 7 yards as a team tonight. They swing it, tried to swing it out of the backfield to Jenkins, the wide receiver, but there defensively was Smoke Monday, as he said, no, no, no.
And a good job there by Smoke Monday going vertical, and I'm not really sure what Cole Taylor was doing there. I mean, very, very passive in his pass set. I mean, goodness gracious, the tight end against the safety, and he's barely touching him. You need to engage and hit him as hard as you can.
He's got him by 50 pounds, and he's 6'7". And that was his pass pro. 2nd and goal. TDP on the run, and he's taken down just after maybe half a yard as Harris makes the tackle. The transfer from Kansas, the return back home. He grew up in Montgomery, Alabama, so back home playing at Auburn. Third and goal, 11th play of the drive coming up. That started, remember, at the Auburn 45-yard line after the surprise onside kick didn't work out for Auburn.
Let's see if you get Butte in a one-on-one.
Number 3 receiver, top of your screen. Instead, he goes to the bottom, and it's incomplete. Right at the pylon, he wanted Deion Smith.
Pretty good throw on the pylon route. You want to miss this one low and away. That's one that you'd love to have your wide receiver grab for you. I think that's 1-2 that Smith. One goes down as a drop, I think. Tough catch, would have been really difficult, but one you got to have this part of the field.
Cade York, a short attempt here as he has made 14 straight, trying to give LSU a 6-point lead, make it 15 straight field goals made for Cade York. So that's how we start the 2nd half. Got a good one shaping up here at Tiger Stadium. Don't go anywhere. Hey, show us how big you're going tonight. You can submit your best fan video to #ShowYourSaturday. You might get your 15 seconds of fame. That's dangerous in this town, showing how big you're going on a Saturday night. Our crew's more like the grilled fish at Eliza's kind of big night out, not
me. I'm
the student section.
No, not me. I'm crowd surfing. I'm going wild in Baton Rouge. I love it. I love it.
It's a great town to come to for a college football weekend, isn't it? 16-10 game after York just put another field goal through. King of the Moment is brought to you by Burger King, and it's all about Bo Nix on 4th down.
Yeah, how about these plays, man? Off-schedule plays. This is what Bo Nix gives you, man. He has had his fair share of struggles. He's been a bit of a roller coaster, man, but this has always been inside. Being able to do the spectacular. Now, can he do things on schedule has been the question. But these plays, running around, creating something out of nothing, giving this Auburn offense life there in the 2nd quarter. What a remarkable job by him, continuing to keep plays alive and allowing his wide receivers to uncover. I think he's been very steady tonight after battling for his starting job this week.
Battling for his starting job after being pulled a week ago. He goes for a couple of yards there. You know, we talked to Mike Bobo, the offensive coordinator, and we said, well, how's Bo been this week after getting pulled last week? He goes, listen, you don't want to have a guy playing quarterback for you who isn't ticked off when he gets pulled in the game. He's ticked off. He said, everybody's playing the position, you know, you get benched. It's not a good feeling. You go out and you compete harder.
Yeah, how do you respond to it, right? How do you respond to it? Everyone faces adversity at some point or another in their career, and it's how you bounce back from that adversity that ultimately defines who you are as a player. And Bo Nix done a pretty dang good job so far tonight.
There they go with Bigsby. He tries to turn the corner.
Well, guys, when I spoke with Bo Nix earlier this week, he said, look, I was extremely frustrated when they pulled me out of that game a week ago, which is expected because I'm so competitive, but he didn't let that frustration carry over into his week of preparation. Mike Bobo actually told him on Sunday how you respond and handle this adversity will define your college career and beyond. And from everyone I spoke to, Bo responded the right way. Was in early, stayed late, was laser focused on that footwork and his setup. Now he's just trusting that preparation, and so far it's worked out for him pretty well.
And now it's how do you respond on a 3rd and 3. Survive that, and then does this downfield. Shanker with the big play again from Bo Nix. I mean, Ali Gay had him every which way, and Bo Nix escapes it.
Man, just great movement in the pocket. I mean, Ali Gay coming over the top. Bo Nix escapes to his right and finds Shanker downfield. Just a thing of beauty, but there is a flag on the field on the far sideline. Unbelievable play yet again.
Holding on the defense, number 1. That penalty is declined. The result of the play is a first down.
Eli Ricks fine cornerback. Well, I mean, you're sitting there in coverage forever tonight with Bo Nix with these critical conversions. He's having fun tonight. Football should be fun. He's having fun tonight.
He's reacting. I mean, it's so often when you watched Bo Nix, he would react far too soon.
Yes.
I mean, tonight, he's allowing the play to develop, and the play is what forces him into making his move. Oftentimes, he would escape far too early, get off balance, his feet wouldn't be set. He looks like a different guy tonight.
Now they're taking care of Demetrius Robertson, so we'll take a quick break as Bo Nix just did it again.
Cheese, fillet of fish, or 10-piece chicken McNuggets. McDonald's, 50 locally owned restaurants in the Baton Rouge area.
Card game, 8 o'clock on ESPN and the app. Joe Gregg and Katie back here at Tiger Stadium. Bo Nix, first down, incomplete, trying to get Bigsby.
Right now, continuing to move the pocket. Bo Nix has done a great job off schedule tonight. Still haven't exactly seen them commit to the run game. I'm surprised that we haven't seen as much from Hunter and Bigsby.
We need a more extreme descriptive than the off schedule for what he's done tonight, don't we? Incomplete downfield as he was trying to get to Jackson. Here's a 3rd and 10. He has had 3 wild plays tonight, 2 of them on 4th down. One of them a 24-yard touchdown was Auburn's first score of the night. Numbers on 3rd down for Bo. This a 3rd and 10. Bo had pressure on him as Gay was coming around the corner, and it'll be 4th down.
Nix's pass intended for Johnson.
And that pressure coming right around the right side, and this is not the first time that Ollie Gay has been able to deliver just a little bit. It was really good coverage too on the back end there from LSU. Really small window for Bo Nix to try to work the middle of the field. Good stand there after the broken play, big play they gave up just a few snaps earlier.
So Anders Carlson on again. 52-yard attempt. He missed from 51 earlier. And that is blocked. Great penetration by LSU up front. And they get in the face of Anders Carlson for a blocked field goal. Looked like Jay Ward darted in and was able to block the field goal.
Wow, how about the hustle off the left-hand side as Jay Ward, full extension, and gets a hand on it. Usually when those guys come off the edges because the operation's just a little bit slow. Great play there by the LSU defense and special teams unit.
And that was not the case. That looked like it was good ops time of 1.25 or less would be my guess. And he just came in blasting and was able to do that. And now here's Kiner. As LSU, one of the big storylines all year long, storylines tonight, struggling to run the ball, now committing a little more to it. Freshman Corey Kiner, as they go with some tempo to line back up. Kiner was a huge recruit, Mr. Football in the state of Ohio. They're playing that season opening loss against UCLA. They've let him rush him a couple times since then. Jack Besh fighting for extra yards. Another good-looking freshman in this LSU offense.
Now, this part of the field hasn't been a problem for LSU. It's when they get in the red zone and the field condenses and you can't run the football. That's where they've struggled. Of course, they've had to settle for field goals on a few different occasions tonight. So the open field stuff's been good. They just now have to find some answers as they start to near the end zone.
2nd and 4. Johnson pointed to Butte. Bottom of your screen. Instead, he goes to the slot at the top, and that's Besh. And Besh is weaving his way for another first down to the 34-yard line. They've got something in Jack Besh here.
Yeah, they do. He's a big body wide receiver that has a good feel for finding space in zone. That time he just bodies up on the stick route. Easy pitch and catch, and a nice run after catch as well. 11
yards there. He has 5 catches for 69 yards. Kiner finding something on the left side. That has been the concern, the left side of that offensive line.
All right, Anthony Bradford. Big body, 365 pounds there on the left side. He'll be paired up with Ed Ingram. Combined, just double check my math test, that's 685 pounds. Yep. You better be able to run the football behind that.
Ingram is a veteran type. He's had himself a good career. Trying to put himself in position to be a decent looking NFL prospect. Now he gets more work, 3 yards that time. The 3rd down and 1. Tight splits here as they go straight ahead, and he was denied. He's going to be about a half-yard short as Zakoby McClain, the Ricochet Rabbit as he is known around the plains, comes in and makes the tackle.
What a great play by Zakoby McClain. As LSU looking like they're going to leave their offense on the field. 2 tight ends coming in the ball game. Heavy personnel for the Bayou Bengals.
Kiner will be the running back on 4th and 1. Fourth down, Kiner, extra drive will move the chains. The motions Trey Palmer, and then they gave it to Kiner.
Yeah, Zakoby McClain almost makes a play. He scrapes over the top, meets Kiner in the hole. But Kiner just a little too much leg drive, and he pushes through. One of the best linebackers in America, Zakoby McClain. Good instincts by McClain, just not enough to be able to stop the talented running back.
Guy who led the nation in tackles a year ago, Zakoby McClain. And on 1st down, he's going to pull it and keep it himself, and he slipped. He slipped right there as he tried to make that cut and had a lot of green grass of Tiger Stadium ahead of him.
He was in a one-on-one situation against Smoke Monday. If he just keeps his feet, that might be how they can get to the run a little bit more. Continue with some of that quarterback zone read. They give you the full read, take it. You don't have to score a touchdown, but 5-6 yards is plenty.
2nd and 8. Johnson directing traffic downfield, and right on the near sideline, he's able to connect to Brian Thomas. A flag is down back at the 27-yard line. We'll check on that.
They're going to get Deculus, the right tackle, on a hold, I believe.
It's number 76. 10-yard penalty for the previous spot. Replay, 2nd down.
Deculus, a guy who's played a lot of ball for LSU. This is his 53rd game. fourth-year player. Of course, everybody gets that COVID bonus year. There's nobody in the history of LSU who's played in over 60 career games, and here is Deculus sitting at 53 games played. So it's a second 18 after the penalty. Josh Williams, not much there at all. Colby Wooden with the tackle. Third and very long.
It's been a pretty good performance so far from this Auburn defensive line. This is a very impressive effort from Wooden. I think Marcus Harris has had a couple moments. Derek Hall has had a couple moments, and to do so in the absence of Owen Papo, it's not easy to do when you have an eraser that's out of this game.
That was Papo, number 0, who is looking on, encouraging his defensive teammates. See if they can get a stop on 3rd and 16. Johnson from behind, taking it. Ball is out, and Deculus jumps on it. As Johnson didn't see the pressure coming from behind, and Deculus was able to jump on that loose football. And we'll send out the field goal team.
Very fortunate here. Leota on the right side, number 55, just retraces. And you got to be careful there if you're a quarterback. Fortunate to be able to hop on that football. Good job by the pass rush of the Auburn Tigers.
Cade York on for his 4th field goal attempt. This from 51. Well struck. And Cade York with a 51-yarder has now made 16 consecutive field goals. Skinner snapping to Atkins and off the foot of York. And with that, it's a 9-point LSU lead. For ESPN College Football Primetime, presented by Geico. Beautiful artwork here in Baton Rouge. Got Pistol Pete there. You got an LSU 19-10 lead over Auburn. Next Saturday, it is 117th Red River Showdown, Oklahoma and Texas. Flag is down, by the way, at the 28-yard line. Because last season they had the 4 overtime thriller. That comes your way noon Eastern on ABC. Officials are talking things over.
Yeah, and this was interesting. There's a flag on the 28-yard line. It looked like Donovan Kaufman got a little lackadaisical. He took a knee, but did he come out of the end zone before he took a knee? It's Brian Harson's.
Well, if he did, they're going to mark it there.
They should.
Let's go back and show you.
The ruling on the field is the player that never came out of the end zone, therefore it is a touchback. The flag on the field is for a sideline warning against LSU.
And of course, the ball has to completely leave the end zone. His
Correct.
foot can be out of the end zone and his back foot can be in, but where's the ball at that point is the question. I think it's probably the correct call, but a little too, I guess, lackadaisical. Is that the right word? I guess a little too relaxed there.
There's a guy who hasn't been relaxed at all since he re-entered the game. Bo Nix started tonight. TJ Finley came in, and then Bo Nix has come in and made some magic for Auburn. What does he do trailing by 9 now? Sets up the screen. He does so to Hunter, and Hunter is going to go ahead for 10 yards, and that'll move the sticks. Flott with the tackle.
So far, these Auburn running backs have been fairly quiet. I mean, Hunter hasn't had many chances to get loose. Tank Bigsby's had just 7 yards on 5 carries.
There's Hunter, doesn't find anything at all. Fanua with the tackle. Katie?
Darquez Hunter is a powerlifting state champion. His trademark is moving crazy amounts of weight while wearing his coveted cowboy boots. Unfortunately, at Auburn, they don't let him wear those during lift, but strength and conditioning coach Jeff Pittman told me he back squats 660 pounds during summer workouts, and he could have done more. So they're really high on this very strong freshman running back.
In cowboy boots, that was. As he looks on with Bigsby now back on the field. 2nd and 10, Bo Nix. Bo Nix downfield. Great effort that time from Kobe Hudson for the completion. As that goes for 20 yards, Nix to Hudson.
Right in the face of pressure, too. I mean, great throw, great catch by Hudson on the back shoulder seam. They've hit a few of those, hit some against Penn State as well. That's a throw that Bo Nix clearly likes.
Bigsby upended at the 40-yard line. Jay Ward with the tackle there. Jay Ward, who had the blocked field goal moments ago. Look at those numbers on Tank Bigsby. 6 rushes, 12 yards. Folks, this is one of the best running backs in all of college football. He had 300-yard games this year, averaging 6.2 per carry.
LSU's done a pretty good job of bottling those running backs up tonight.
Second and 5, short pitch, Bigsby, good seam, and a first down for Auburn. Preseason first team All SEC. So physical, so speedy, showed that great vision as a freshman a year ago.
Yeah, how about Shanker? Watch his block out in front. That's what springs this one. He does a great job engaging there with Jay Ward, the safety, takes him down, and Bigsby cuts off of him. Just an excellent job there by Shanker. Had a couple drops tonight, but man, he's played extremely well for this Auburn offense. Not just catching it, but also in the run game.
He has been targeted 8 times, has over 100 yards receiving. Play action now. Nix, he's going to run it. Makes a man miss and goes ahead for 12 yards and another first down. Final minute here of the 3rd quarter, and Auburn is on the move. 11 yards there for Nix.
Man, I just love what we're seeing from Bo Nix. He's being decisive, man.
And energized.
Energized and decisive, but that time, hey, nothing's there. But hey, guess what? The Red Sea parted, and I'm going north and south. I'm not hanging around. I got an opportunity with my legs to pick up critical yardage here as the field's starting to condense. I'm going to take it. Those are not the plays he was making the first few weeks. It's been much more decisive, and the results have been fantastic.
Brian Harsin and Mike Bobo managed him very well this week. You're seeing the results. Here's Bigsby out of the backfield, and Bigsby tried to make his way inside the 15 down to the 11-yard line. Damone Clark ran him out. Second and 4, final seconds here of the 3rd quarter. Kojo and that defense trying to find an answer for Bo Nix.
Oh, they might wait. Yeah, I'd snap it on the other end of the field, away from the student section.
Smart move, Brian Harsin says. Let's go down towards our band, not their band and their crazies. And that happens when we return to Death Valley. Coach Brian Harsin moments ago saying, Bo, don't snap it. You're going right into the wall of sound. Let the clock run down.
Right. But the best part is the reaction, like, oh my goodness, thank goodness. The clock is saved by the bell. You definitely, let me just tell you, you do not want to go towards the gold end zone. The purple end zone's your friend. Well, I guess it's more of your friend than the gold end zone. The gold end zone, tough place to be.
He's not your friend. Few are here in Death Valley, but at least it's better when it's the parent section and the Auburn band that you're looking at. 2nd and 4. First play, 4th quarter. Pulls it. And then darts ahead, and they're going to have a 1st and goal.
Mike so far getting Bo Nix involved in the run game. Running backs, for the most part, have not had many opportunities. Bo Nix, by far, their most productive runner tonight. He's got 53 yards, but use them. If the LSU defense is going to tee off on those running backs, man, pull it. You're a great athlete with the ball in your hands as well.
Bigsby and Shanker in the backfield with Bo Nix. And here is Nix into the end zone for an Auburn touchdown. What a way to start the fourth quarter. And what a difference a week makes. And there's his dad, Patrick Nix, former Auburn star himself. He says, way to go, son. We got ourselves a ball game.
A great job of just putting Ollie Gay, the defensive end, number 11, putting him in conflict. You'll see Ollie Gay slide inside, knowing he's got to take away that running back on the dive, and Bo Nix grabs it, takes it around the edge, and makes it a 3-point game with the extra point coming.
The previous play is under further review.
Now they're going to review this as he went across the goal line. There's our pylon cam right down the line. You be the judge. You got that right knee that hits the ground, but ruling on the field is at that point, in front of the football is already across the goal line as Clark came in to make this hit. There's the hit from Clark. There's the right knee, but you can see that ball, his entire torso is already crossing the white line at that point.
It's close. You can't really see the ball extremely well, but I would think this call will stand. It's a great drive there from Bo Nix in this Auburn offense.
You know, that's an example of what you just said of where the language matters on replay, because the ruling on the field is touchdown. You can't see that. If you can't see it, you can't determine it. You can't overturn it. So the ruling on the field most likely stands here. Got Matt Leffler, our SEC referee. We've had Matt 2 weeks in a row. Had him down in Florida last week.
It's really close.
Now, plus he goes over the body of Jay Ward.
I think he's in there.
I do too. I think the play on the field in real time was the result that should stand.
Of course.
You know, listen, big picture here is, and especially the beauty of the sport, of what this sport asks of you, of how humbling it can be. In 7 days to think what has been of Bo Nix.
It's amazing. It's redemption in the
After
fullest
review,
sense.
the ruling on the field stands. It's a touchdown.
A week ago, Bo Nix was playing just miserable football against Georgia State. Auburn trailed Georgia State 24-12. There are some people saying, it's the Penn State, the whiteout atmosphere hangover. He was playing awful. Awful. Overthrowing balls, left, right. He gets pulled from the game. TJ Finley comes in and replaces him with a 98-yard game-winning drive. TJ Finley came in earlier tonight. They were down 13-0. And then Bo Nix has put on this kind of show to make this a really spirited ball game here in the fourth quarter. And with the extra point, it is a 2-point game. Bo Nix had the spectacular fourth down magic touchdown pass, and now this touchdown run. Got a 2-point game between Tigers in Death Valley on a Saturday night in the SEC, underneath the lights, the way it should be. SEC on ESPN. Joe Tessitore alongside Greg McElroy and Katie George. Auburn hasn't won here in Death Valley since 1999.
Let's take a look at our drive recap brought to you by Under Armour. And how about Bo Nix? Beautiful throw on the back shoulder seam. Kobe Hudson made a play for him, and then he finishes it off a little bit later in the end zone, facing his own section. Fires up the crowd as the fight song is playing as he's running through the end zone. I mean, he's responded beautifully tonight, man. I mean, you're only as good as your last play, right? My goodness. Last week, so disappointing. After he'd made progress the first 3 weeks, he looks like a completely different guy here in Death Valley.
Max Johnson, that is batted, and the ball goes to the ground. I mean, they were playing hot potato there, and finally Max knocks it down.
And how about Max Johnson here? They say he does take after his mom, who, by the way, is nicknamed the Killa and was an amazingly good volleyball player. How about Max going up, just trying to spike it down to the turf? as the ball was very close to being intercepted.
There is Nikki. She was a record-setting volleyball player at South Florida, right next to her Super Bowl champion husband, Brad Johnson. Now Max on 2nd and 10. Directing traffic. He spins free and is incomplete, looking for TDP. So he's been watching Bo Nix. And then he tried to do a little Bo Nix. But it'll be 3rd and 10.
Right now, momentum on the side of the Auburn Tigers. Jayshawn Boutte, who was such a big part of that first half, it's been kind of quiet here in the 3rd quarter and the early part of the 4th. Let's see if they find him here. He gets favorable look and coverage.
3rd down and 10. Spinning to the outside was Thomas, but he was taken down by Simpson. So the punt team will run onto the field for LSU. Auburn's going to get the ball back here. It's under 14 minutes to play, and they trail by 2. They were down 13-zip.
That was a great job there by Simpson, making the tackle in the open field. It looked like there was plenty of room for Thomas, but Simpson making the shoestring tackle.
Only the 2nd punt for LSU tonight. Robertson with the fair catch. Katie?
Well, guys, when I spoke to Bo Nix, it was Thursday afternoon, and at that point, he had still not been told who was going to be the starter. He said, look, all I can do is my best, and if that's not enough, sometimes that's life. You can work as hard as you can, and you still might not get what you want. Being benched was the first time in his college career he had actually faced adversity. He said, I just got to control what I can control, and if I did get my shot, I'm going to make the most of it, and certainly right now he's doing so.
He has made the most of it. There's no doubt about that. He was the winning quarterback last year against LSU. 2019, remember that 2019 LSU team? He played so composed down the stretch. Had the late touchdown to Seth Williams. Bigsby can't find much at all this time. There's Ward and company in there. That came down to an onside kick at the end.
Yeah, the closest game that LSU team plays. Yes. Of course, that was an excellent Auburn team as well, with Derek Brown and some big dudes up front. Bo Nix is a freshman. Difficult place naturally to go play, and played pretty well in that environment a couple years ago.
And here he is, a return visit to Tiger Stadium. 4th quarter action, 2nd and 8. Bigsby just trying to find anything. Goes for about 2.5 yards. Big 3rd down coming, and you know the noise he's going to have to deal with.
Let's see if this full capacity crowd in Death Valley ramps it up.
3rd and 6. Four-man rush. Nix is not taken down. But they finally get to him. I don't know how he's doing it time and again, because Mason Smith all but had a sack. But there wasn't enough magic left, and now it's getting testy up front.
There's no love lost, obviously, here amongst the Auburn Tigers and the LSU Tigers. Man, Bo Nix, again, evading Mason Smith, who's just a ridiculously talented defensive tackle for the LSU Tigers. That young man is going to play a very long time and likely be a very wealthy player in the future. He is something special. Couldn't bring down the quarterback there, though.
Chapman on to punt. Ray Palmer, the return man, calls for the fair catch at about the 27-yard line. So much history between these two. And that guy, too, Heisman winner back in '59, Billy Cannon. We'll be back.
College football prime time. is presented by Geico. Save even more when you bundle home and car insurance. And in part by Barbecue Guys, for those who were born to grill.
Greg, that's the USS Kidd nearby on the Mississippi River. The only surviving U.S. destroyer still in her World War II configuration. We've got a 19-17 game here. LSU on top in the fourth quarter. Joe, Greg, and Katie, thrilled that you're with us here as we come to you from Death Valley, Tiger Stadium. Hey, the last drive for each team. First 3 and outs that they've had. And now LSU back to business with Max Johnson. Johnson pulls, felt the pressure, throws it away. Romello Height coming in on him.
Max Johnson coming out of the game, I mean, was just as hot as you could be. Of course, since then has cooled off significantly, and part of that is because right now Auburn's just selling out against the pass, man. They're saying, hey, if you can run it on us, go for it, but you can't. So you're going to become one-dimensional. As a result, he's having to throw against some very tough looks defensively, and LSU just hasn't had any answers here in the last couple quarters.
Started the game 7 for 7. Started the game with a 55-yard pass to Keishawn Butte. 2nd and 10. Quick strike as he goes to a guy who's becoming one of his favorite targets, Jack Besh. A couple uncles in the Besh family played here at LSU.
Big third down, I think, for LSU's offense, too. Right now, obviously, a lot of momentum has been built up in the third quarter, but for the most part, man, LSU hasn't had a whole lot of opportunities here in the second half.
3rd down and 2. And complete, and it's Besh again. On 3rd and 5, he moves the chains.
I'll tell you what, Besh has been really steady tonight. Sure-handed wide receiver. And if they're going to sell out to try to limit what Butte's doing, there's Besh over the middle of the field.
Johnson tests the other side. He's looking for Trey Palmer.
Look at this Auburn defensive structure, man. I mean, they just have 3 defensive linemen on the field. I mean, they are essentially saying you can't do anything between the tackles. And LSU's not even trying.
Johnson gets it out to Neighbors. Neighbors with a stiff arm for a little more as he met up with Pritchett.
Again, 3rd down. Good opportunity to look in the direction of a guy that's been very reliable here on critical down and distance. That's Jack Besh. He's lined up at the number 2, just outside the hash, with a lot of space in front of him. Now it looks like Auburn's going to get into a little bit of man coverage.
Butte's at the top of your screen. Press coverage up there. 3rd and 5. Johnson, handshake 3, as he was brought down by Colby Wooden and that Auburn front.
That was a really good job here on the left side, just working one-on-one, and as Johnson tries to step up, I mean, really that time he beat 2 LSU offensive linemen. Both Ingram and Shanahan had a chance, but they couldn't stop Colby Wooden.
Atkins to punt away. Robertson, fair catch at the 12-yard line. Under 9.5 to play. Bo Nix is back out there with the ball. Auburn won here at LSU September 18th of '99. It was Coach Tuberville winning his first SEC game. They beat him 41-7. And of course, you know, all the games have a title to them, right? You know, in SEC lore, this was the cigar game back then.
It's crazy that's been that long. You were buying your Y2K software and I was 11.
That's right.
That's where we were.
That's right. And with that comes wisdom. Trent Wright nicks on first down, quickly gets it out, incomplete, couldn't connect with Robertson.
So far tonight, Mike Bobo's done a pretty good job of changing the launch point, using some misdirection, creating opportunities for that offensive line that has had some struggles now. It's an offensive line that has had some ups and downs. They're going against a talented group along the defensive front for LSU. Well, how you neutralize that, especially when your O-line's struggling, man, get your quarterback moving, get him outside the pocket. I think both Mike Bobo and Brian Harst have done a really nice job of that tonight.
Nix chased back all the way to his own 2-yard line. And then slings it near side, and that is incomplete. Brian Harst looks on for a 3rd and 10. And the golden band from Tigerland roars right at their backs. Nick scrambling again, and this time it's incomplete. Shedrick Jackson, who was the late game hero last week, couldn't come up with it this week. And now Nix is 0 for his last 4 pass attempts.
And that was one of the few times tonight in which I felt like Bo left the pocket just a little bit premature. I felt like there was enough of a pocket there to at least give the receivers a chance. That time he escaped, he rolls to the near side, and there's nobody home. And a good job, too, of coverage by the LSU Tigers.
Now, Trey Palmer's a very dangerous return man. Let's see if Oscar Chapman can go directional here and get it away from Palmer. And with that good hang time and outside the numbers, he forces the fair catch. So not what the Auburn offense wanted on that last series. LSU defense, they've got their new coordinator, Durante Jones, his first year. A defense that a year ago was 124th in total defense in the national rankings. And there is Jones. He's made improvements. He has ties to Dave Aranda, of course, was a defensive coordinator here a couple of years ago when they were on top of the world.
Yeah, no doubt. And obviously Dave Aranda, one of the best in the business. But how about the defensive coordinator for the Auburn Tigers as well, Derek Mason, former head coach of Vanderbilt, doing a pretty good job against this LSU offense tonight.
There's Thomas trying to find anything, and he's able to get 2.5 yards there.
Derek Mason felt like they could create some advantages for their linebackers. Felt like they had an opportunity to allow those guys to run sideline to sideline. They've done so beautifully. Jacoby McLean's been fantastic tonight. He always is. I mean, that's one of the few guarantees that you'll have is that Jacoby McLean's going to erase some plays that are there for the opposing offense.
You guys more likable than Mace. He celebrated his 52nd birthday this week. We were on the phone with Mace the other day when he said, hey, it's my birthday. 52, looks like he's 32. Johnson on 2nd and 8. Near sideline again goes to Thomas, and Thomas was wrapped up immediately by Jalen Simpson. Goes for 5 yards, so it's going to be 3rd and short. Now 3rd and a long 2.
Love to have an imposing run game here. So that you could hand it off and probably pick it up, but if you don't, you could still obviously keep your offense on the field as Auburn takes a nudge up there near the line of scrimmage.
3rd and 2. Johnson, plenty of time to pick an option. Wide open was Besh, and he overthrows it. I don't know what Max Johnson would do to have that one back.
Just a missed opportunity here as Johnson surveying. Only a 3-man rush, had time. He had Besh just a little bit too tall. As the LSU offense getting aggressive here. See if they try to use the snap count to their advantage.
4th and 2 from the 46-yard line. There's the flag.
Snap infraction on the offense, number 56. 5-yard penalty, 4th down.
And with that, Avery Atkins will come out and punt. 3rd straight 3 and out for LSU.
And they continue to get good field position too. At some point they got to do something with it.
Atkins' first year as a starting punter. Takes a bounce and a good one for LSU. Katie?
Tess, Greg, I hope folks at home can get a sense of just how loud it is here at Death Valley. This is my first time covering a game at Tiger Stadium, and it is absolutely deafening, especially on 3rd and 4th downs when Bo Nix is scrambling. Coach O told me to get ready because I was guaranteed to have some frissons on the sidelines, which is Cajun for goosebumps. Coach O did not oversell this place. If you are a college football fan of the game and you love atmospheres, please put this on your bucket list.
It's one of the ultimate on the bucket list. Glad you're getting those frissons tonight, Katie, and this crowd can make a big difference. They have had on a few 3rd downs here in this 4th quarter. Nix tucks, runs, dives ahead for a 1st down for Auburn. And listen, obviously last year, 25% capacity. The year before was one of the most magical years in LSU history. So everybody was looking forward to this tonight, Greg. SEC again, rivaled again in primetime.
It's been special to be here, man. And I'll tell you what, the players on both sides of the football, first time some of them have ever seen an atmosphere like that. No one's back down to this point.
That was dangerous as he was trying to get it to Bigsby, and then it ricocheted off of Baskerville. But, you know, to your point, so you get that amazing signing class after you win the national championship, and they never experience what they signed on to experience because of the COVID protocols until tonight. The full capacity against an SEC rival under the lights. Nix looking to run right away on 2nd down, and he is dragged down by Damone Clark, who we told you earlier is coming off a career-best 15-tackle game in that win at Mississippi State.
Right here, this spot where I try to move that pocket. I mean, Bo Nix has been very accurate on the move tonight. Try to get in a stack. Run Bo Nix, roll him out of the pocket, maybe roll him to his left. And see if you can't find a receiver off a little bit of a rug. Break him open.
3rd and 5. Shivers out of the backfield as he gets upfield and has the 1st down and then gives a little to McLaughlin. Under 6 minutes to play, and Auburn with a fresh set of downs, trailing by 2 at a place that they haven't won at since '99.
Yeah, just a thing of beauty there. I mean, pressure coming up the middle. It's essentially a toss sweep to Shivers. And he's in a one-on-one against the safety and makes him miss.
Nix being chased by Ali Gay. He will throw this away.
Second down 10. 34 yards.
Timeout is going to be used by LSU. 5.5 to play. What kind of fabulous finish are we in store for? We will find out when we come back to Death Valley. Player, Greg.
Bo Nix has been outstanding tonight. I mean, keeping plays alive. These are gotta-have-it situations. And he's been able to do some miraculous things. I mean, just running around, allowing his receivers to uncover. When he delivers, he's been accurate. And he's also done a really good job with his legs. And continues to make sure that LSU accounts for him in the run game. He's leading Auburn in rushing by a wide margin.
Hunter going to test the left side, and here goes the freshman, Jarquez Hunter. What do we have here? Auburn's on the go. Damone Clark had to run him down. But in this fabulous freshman, they find a spark.
And finally, they ran to this play a little earlier, had some success. It's really well blocked on the outside by Troxel. And this young freshman, he's got a lot of juice on the perimeter. Just an excellent play call there by Mike Bobo.
44 yards there from Jarquez Hunter. And now they run option, and Nix is running out of options, and he has to do that. And instead it's Baskerville who takes the ball the other way. Was there a whistle there? Is that going to be ruled and walked back?
Did it hit the ground?
Ruling it incomplete. It looked like it went into the hands of Baskerville. That's how he reacted.
Looked like he kicked it like a hacky sack and almost caught it.
On the field.
Why take the unnecessary risk? It hit his foot like a hacky sack, bounced up. Are they saying it hit the ground?
It's almost like he stepped on it, hit the ground, and then it bounced up.
Watch his right foot. Oh,
yeah,
yes,
there it
he
is.
hits it, hits the ground, so good job by the line judge there, but Baskerville played it live.
The ruling on the field was a forward pass. There is no intentional grounding as number 8 was in the area.
Well, Bo Nix has had some magic tonight, but with it comes risk, and that was risky. Hunter's back in the game. He just went for 44 yards to put Auburn in position. Nix comes to the near side and is able to get it complete to Capers. Last year, Capers had a touchdown in that win against LSU. I mean, Nix is just willing to do anything tonight, isn't he?
Oh, that last one I wouldn't advise.
No.
But all things considered, he's done a great job. But a critical third down here, obviously, for this Auburn offense.
Third down and 3. Shivers again out of the backfield, and Shivers again will have a first down. In fact, it'll be first and goal, Auburn.
Very similar play that time to the one that Shivers just created a big play a little earlier on this drive. Motion, John Samuel Shanker across the formation. You essentially create a toss sweep for Shivers out in space.
High formation now with Hunter behind Shanker. Short pitch, looking for space, and finding it and working his way down to the 1 yard line.
How about the way he finishes this run? He's got Troxel out in front who gets a piece of him, but look at Hunter, almost gets it.
Damone Clark just saved the day right before that pylon. That famed number 18 jersey, the tradition of selfless, hard-working effort plays. And Clark just showed one. But Auburn is knocking on the door. And Hunter wants to burst right through it, and he does. the first lead of the game for Auburn. And it comes with 3:11 remaining. They trailed 13-zip. And in the second half, they trailed by 9. And now here we are with 3:11 remaining in the game. And Auburn has roared back 2 fourth-quarter touchdowns. The freshmen put it in. And it's 24-19. Auburn on top of LSU. He's got that outrageous video online of putting up the big weight in cowboy boots. Freshman who's so strong that the Auburn strength coaches have to cap how much he squats at 600 pounds. And he just powered through that front with a 1-yard touchdown in what has been a spectacular second half, the way it should be here in Baton Rouge when the lights are on and 2 SEC rivals are going at it. What are you expecting out of LSU here in these final moments?
They got to get something going. I mean, if you really look at how this game's gone, I mean, they dominated early, and you thought for a second, I mean, this thing could get away from the Auburn Tigers. Well, the switch flipped, and all of a sudden, Derek Mason's defense has really started to dictate. And Max Johnson hasn't really been comfortable because they've been able to kind of get a rush with only 3 defenders along the defensive line. Now they're going to have to find some space against what's likely to be a drop 8 from the Auburn defense.
After the 92-yard go-ahead drive by Auburn, here's Max Johnson and LSU back out there. And they're going to use a timeout right away. So after the kickoff, they use a timeout. College football rankings are brought to you by AT&T 5G. Big story out west was Stanford's overtime win, Greg, against Oregon, and that puts the Pac-12 in a whole lot of trouble. Meanwhile, Cincinnati did exactly what they wanted to do. They had the date circled against the top 10 Notre Dame team, and they got it done. So now they are in very good position to potentially be the first group of 5 team to make the college football playoff.
And how far does Oregon fall? Does Cincinnati perhaps leapfrog Oklahoma after their performance on the road today? Oklahoma struggled again. Do have the Texas Longhorns next week, so I think there's going to be a pretty big shakeup there. It's pretty clear who the top 2 teams are, but 3 through 6 or 7, it's really tough to differentiate those teams.
Off the timeout, Johnson takes a shot downfield, and he puts it to the outside of Trey Palmer, who had found some space. Palmer, a dangerous guy, had a 58-yard touchdown catch a week ago. And he's there with a speedy return man as well. So next, those moments where you can hardly look up. You just want to keep looking at that clock and saying, is it ticking down? Is it ticking down? Can Auburn come up with their first win at LSU since '99? Johnson quickly to Palmer. And wrapped up immediately by Simpson.
That's been the story of the night. I mean, LSU really hasn't been able to get anything over the top, and Auburn in the secondary has done a great job of tackling in space. There hasn't been much opportunity for the Bayou Bengals to run after catch. Another example there on the hitch to bring up 3rd and short.
Deshaun Butte started the game red hot and quiet in the second half. Third and 3. Pick up the pressure. Quick strike over the middle. First down, LSU, Deion Smith.
Just a beautiful throw here from Max Johnson. Tight coverage on the slant. Smith creates just a little window. McCrary's all over him. It's good coverage, but a great throw beats great coverage every time.
Johnson looked right, goes left, and throws it well over Deion Smith. 1 timeout remaining. Minute 55 to play, trailing by 5.
One thing they haven't really done much of is really try to work the middle of the field on the intermediate routes. I mean, those are some of the routes that have been so beneficial to the Tigers this year, but so far, Auburn has really shut down that part of the field.
Davis Price moves across to the 46-yard line as Zacoby McClain makes the tackle. Stayed in bounds. Clock continues to count down. It'll be 3rd down and about 6 from there.
You got to start to have a little urgency here, but of course, this is a critical down. Got to have it situation the next 2 downs. So take your time here, but then after the 1st down, got to pick up the pace.
3rd and 6. Johnson, good protection, downfield shot. Boutte waiting for it and hauls it in. And there he is, Kayshon Boutte with his 7th catch of the night, and it goes for 22 yards.
Yeah, and does a good job of getting the mesh off of Jack Besh. Jack Besh goes up, runs a little angled curl. Boutte tries to create something off of it. There's a good execution and a nice catch by the talented wide receiver.
And officials are calling for a review. This reception by Kayshon Boutte. They were saying, where is Boutte in the 2nd half? He's like fielding a punt there. Did he secure control of the ball and have possession in the field of play?
So has it there. Down. Oh, that ball starts to... Oh my goodness, it comes out at the end. As you see, Boutte goes to the ground. The ball is moving, and then it hits the ground. And to me, it just doesn't look like he ever really secured it.
So there was some movement there. Of course, you got to establish the firm control and maintain possession for the play. And as he was going through that catch process, you saw that the ball was coming loose. Watch the end of this.
Right there he has it firm, but then it starts to move, and then it inevitably ends up on the ground. This is going to be incomplete. What a huge turn of events.
Kayshon Boutte. The question is, firm control for the entire play.
After review, the ball came out after the player hit the ground. It's an incomplete pass.
It is incomplete. The ruling on the field reversed. Incomplete, and it is 4th and 6. Quiet 2nd half for one of the best wide receivers in all of college football. Will they turn to him here? 4th and 6. Max Johnson and LSU trying to stay alive late against Auburn. Across the middle, and it's intercepted. Knighton picks off Johnson. "22 years ago, Auburn was here, and they brought a bunch of cigars. And right now, some Auburn folks are probably saying, 'Where's my lighter?'" By Darius Knighton with the interception on 4th down.
Yeah, Johnson trying to work an out route to his right. It's well covered by the Auburn Tigers. He's forced to come off of his number 1 and just misses high. as you have the secondary defender awaiting the interception and what was one of the longest streaks.
Now look at this scene as Auburn players are waving to the crowd.
What a performance. I mean, one of the longest streaks in the SEC comes to an end because of a young man that was benched a week ago for poor play. And he was electric tonight. Him and his coaching staff, what a job they did this week in preparation to come into a hostile environment where your maturity and your poise and your composure would be tested. To leave victorious is truly remarkable.
Nobody stays the same. And Bo Nix is a good example of that. Patrick, you can see him trying to contain emotion. He knows how much this means to his son, who was pulled a week ago, who has been on a career roller coaster ride. 3 offensive coordinators in 3 years. A new staff that a week ago when he was struggling against Georgia State pulled him from the game only to see the backup come in and win it. Tonight, he comes back into the game in the second quarter and put on a show with 4th down magic, second half guts, and now a game ball he's holding on to dearly. Bo Nix comes on the road and beats LSU, something that no Auburn quarterback has done since 1999. That was a fun one, wasn't it, Greg?
Unbelievable. Unbelievable game. Just amazing performance, and congrats to Brian Harsin. That's a tough physical football team they played tonight. The execution was just a little better by the Auburn Tigers.
Bo Nix with 255 yards passing, a touchdown, with a thrilling 4th down touchdown that sparked it, and the 4th quarter touchdown again. 24-19, number 22 wins it. Coming up next, it's Sports Center with Scott Van Pelt. Enjoy that, everybody.
ESPN thanks you for watching this presentation of the Southeastern Conference.